With the strong Australian dollar making life tough for any number of industries, the federal government has promised to stand by the big three car makers. Those reassurances, though, have come too late for the latest casualties. The hundreds of Toyota workers facing redundancy. Ben Knight reports.
This was not a day to turn up late to work. These workers know that 350 jobs will go from this Altona factory, but they don't yet know whose.
Well, my wife's not working, I've got a baby and I've got a mortgage.
After this age, I think it would be hard to find a job, but I will try my best.
The high Aussie dollar has hit all three Australian car makers hard. The union says it understands that companies sometimes have to make cuts.
What we don't understand is why Toyota has moved directly to compulsory redundancy.
We will be doing everything we can to work with them and support them.
Both the state and federal governments have promised to keep the factories open during the crisis.
The dollar does move around, and if we overreact now and say goodbye to components of our manufacturing industry, when the dollar shifts back and we find that imports increase in price again, we'll be saying, well, where are our local manufacturers?
Right now, they're feeling the shockwaves of the car crisis.
If we want to find a toolmaker now, we have actually less toolmakers that we can actually choose from, because as the automotives are going down, these guys are going out of business or finding other work.
Companies like this one in South Dandenong know they'll never be able to compete on price with places like Vietnam and China.
They say it's skills that will keep them ahead, but developing those is expensive, and that's where government help comes in.
I tend to agree with survival of the fittest, but we put governments in to help us achieve that.
The federal opposition is sticking to its policy of cutting $500 million in subsidies to car makers. It says it's the government that's taking the wrong approach.
Now is the worst possible time to introduce a carbon tax that is going to make a lot of our manufacturing unsustainable.
The union will meet with Toyota next week to discuss the job cuts. Ben Knight, ABC News, Melbourne.